Unfortunately for actor David Hornsby, he would go through an even worse series of injuries over the next 20 years in the role of Rickety Cricket on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Jesse Shade here for Awfully Good Movies on behalf of the JoBlo YouTube network, and after several years of teasing a review for it, this year is when I am finally gonna be spending Christmas with the Kranks. The 2004 adaptation of John Grisham's best-selling book Skipping Christmas, about a suburban couple played by Tim Allen and Jamie Lee Curtis, who plan to do exactly that: skip Christmas along with the decorations and associated viewings of A Charlie Brown Christmas so they can save money for a cruise on their first holiday without their daughter. Even as Dan Aykroyd and their fellow neighbors are all but demanding the Kranks' blood for failing to get into the holiday spirit. Is it truly one of the worst Christmas movies ever made, in the same world that gave us Home Alone 4 and The Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause? Well, let us find out by closing out the craziness and chaos of 2025 with an equally chaotic farce of folly from producer and writer Chris Columbus, in a film which is at least more watchable than his future directing job on Pixels. So open your presents and check your stockings for this home-improving episode of Awfully Good Movies. Among the dozens of classic Christmas movies that we stream every holiday season, you have probably seen one name in more than a few of their credits: that of writer, producer, and director Chris Columbus, who began his career writing the first Gremlins movie in 1984, is about to write and direct a new Gremlins movie for 2027, and in between has served as the director of the first two Home Alones and Netflix's Christmas Chronicles 2, as well as the producer of the first Christmas Chronicles, Jingle All the Way, and one of my favorite holiday films of recent years, Robert Eggers' Nosferatu. Hey look, that movie was released during Christmas, and it was set during Christmas, so it counts on both fronts, thank you very much. Just as much as when Mr. Columbus journeyed into writing and producing, but thankfully not directing, what's considered one of the worst holiday movies ever made in 2004, when Tim Allen tore up his Santa Claus and Jamie Lee Curtis tossed her Halloween pumpkins so they could spend Christmas with the Kranks. When John Grisham took a break from writing best-selling legal thrillers that immediately got turned into hit movies so he could write the whimsical holiday novella Skipping Christmas, it was immediately optioned into a movie itself by Hollywood hotshot Joe Roth for his own movie studio, Revolution Studios, with Columbus insisting that Roth direct his adaptation of Grisham's tale about a middle-aged couple who decide to skip out on their usual holiday festivities this year to save up for a Caribbean cruise, much to the increasing annoyance of their holly jolly neighbors in their small Illinois town. Yet even as Christmas with the Kranks was a moderate success at the box office that holiday season, its brutal critical reception proved to be a great big lump of coal. So much so that it's been ranked number 2 by Rotten Tomatoes among the worst reviewed Christmas movies ever made, right ahead of Deck the Halls and right behind The Nutcracker in 3D. So since I remember utterly loathing this movie as a preteen in the theater, I shall find out if the past 20 years have made me any less cranky towards the Kranks. And hey, if Chris Columbus is coming back to give us another Gremlins movie, then I'm sure you JoBlo viewers would agree with me that he should move on to making another Christmas-based sequel, not for Home Alone, but rather Jingle All the Way. Forget that Larry the Cable Guy bullshit. I want to see a proper follow-up this time, with an elderly Arnold and a wheelchair-bound Sinbad fighting off AI-powered Turbo Man robots alongside his adult son Jamie, now played by the other Anakin Skywalker, Hayden Christensen.
Put it down now! Turbo Man. Sick world we live in, sick people.
Now it's time to look under the tree for a bottle of vodka from Santa so you can ring in New Year's early with the awfully good drinking game. Take a shot or drink as the movie opens with one of the admittedly good songs off of its soundtrack. the Christmas song by the Ravenettes, with the film's music supervisor being none other than Little Stevie Van Sant, the guitarist for Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band, who wrote All Alone on Christmas for the Home Alone 2 soundtrack, and now the second actor from The Sopranos to be involved in a 2004 Christmas comedy. Our story opens with Tim Allen and Jamie Lee Curtis as Luther and Nora Krank, bidding an emotional farewell at the airport to their grown daughter Blair, played by Julie Gonzalo of Veronica Mars, as she heads off from their cozy hometown of Riverville, Illinois, all the way to Peru for a year-long assignment in the Peace Corps.
The year will fly by. Just won't be the same.
And we can already tell from Mom's sob-filled reaction, while Dad over here looks annoyed to be missing the game, that the bulk of the Kranks' crankiness is going to be falling to Tim Allen, who on the way home has to run twice through the driving rain to get his wife another wig that makes her resemble his sitcom wife from Home Improvement, only to be met with a double dose of getting wackily soaked with water.
I couldn't get any wetter!
But instead of Chris Columbus having multiple clones of Tim Allen then start to pop out of his back, the drenched Luther gets a bright idea from a nearby billboard at a travel agency to go through his finances the next day over at his accounting workplace, where Will's mom from The Fresh Prince pops up as his sassy secretary and proposes his evil plan that evening to his wife at the dinner table, which she mistakes as an invitation for another freaky True Lies striptease.
Luther, what are you doing?
That's right, honey. I signed us up to form our own K-pop group. No, Luther's plan is for the two of them to skip out on celebrating Christmas altogether. No decorations, no presents, no turkey.
No turkey gravy. Gone. All gone.
To instead save their money for a 10-day luxury cruise to the Caribbean from Christmas into New Year's.
This is a total boycott, honey.
With Luther eventually being strong-armed by his wife to donate her money and time to neighborhood charities as their only expression this year of holiday cheer.
We're not buying a Christmas tree this year.
Now over in normal land, Luther Krank would act perfectly normal about his financially conservative approach to how he and his wife celebrate their first holiday without their beloved daughter, while their neighbors and friends would largely be perfectly understanding of letting the Kranks live their lives however they please. But not here, folks, because this is Sitcom land, where Luther has to dramatically proclaim to his co-workers in a hand-delivered memo that he and the wife are skipping Christmas.
Skipping Christmas.
We skip Christmas.
We skip Christmas.
AKA the movie's original title from the book, until producers wanted to avoid confusion with Ben Affleck surviving Christmas that same year and Kirk Cameron saving Christmas in 10 years. While Nora's own circle of girlfriends, played by Felicity Huffman of Desperate Housewives and Caroline Rhea of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, reacts to her news of their holiday boycott like she just announced they're joining the Nazi party. And the neighbors that the Kranks have to put up with in this movie, including late great character actor M. Emmett Walsh as the grumpy old man across the street, Walt Scheel, are acting like these two have put up lawn signs written in blood that say Santa isn't real, kids, and neither is Jesus, and tattle on the Kranks' boycott to the neighborhood's unofficial ward boss.
Bromeyer has a problem with our skipping Christmas. Who's he gonna call?
Someone else.
Why, none other than the founding Ghostbuster and Blues brother, Dan motherfucking Aykroyd. I can't wait to see Clark Griswold's face when he finds out that the judge has finally arrived in his neighborhood to move in just like he promised.
See you soon, banker! Bingo.
Yes, Aykroyd plays here the role of Vic Frohmeyer, who is disturbed by the Kranks' lack of faith in a holiday spirit which has always united their community.
Christmas has always been a neighborhood thing around here, you know that.
And soon has his son Spike, played by Dewey from Malcolm in the Middle, staging protests with neighbors on their lawn chanting for the Frosty statue down in their basement to be displayed outside once more.
We're here for Frosty! Please give us Frosty!
Personally, I'm gonna gladly move out of any neighborhood that does everything but burn a cross on your lawn if you don't conform to their cultish methods of Yuletide. But I guess Jamie Lee just refuses to deny the magnetic sexual chemistry she and Dan Aykroyd still have from their My Girl and Trading Places days.
You want to see something really scary?
Soon enough, the entire town gets the shaming the Kranks' Christmas cancellation after their joint tanning session at the mall, being supervised by Adam Scott's female clone, descends into chaos straight out of an 80s sitcom. So much so, we've got sitcom actors David L. Lander from Laverne and Shirley and Tom Poston from Newhart reacting in befuddlement to the supposedly hideous sight of Jamie Lee Curtis in a bathing suit and the definitely hideous sight of Tim Allen in a Speedo.
I don't think so, Tim.
Which ends up getting photographed onto the front page of their local paper that clearly had nothing better to report that day. For Pete's sake, movie, can't you give us some dramatic stakes that don't feel pulled out of a Home Improvement episode?
It's Bev Shield. She went for a checkup yesterday.
I got the results of the test back.
My cancer's back for the third time.
I definitely have breast cancer.
Okay, well shit, I didn't mean dropping a cancer subplot on the wife of M. Emmett Walsh, played here by Elizabeth Franz, who I remember from my awfully good review on her incredible work in Stephen King's Thinner.
Don't tell me!
But hey, why let this sober topic kill all the comedic momentum when the unlikely duo of Cheech Marin and Jake Busey can do that all by themselves, as a bumbling pair of cops from whom Luther refuses to buy a calendar for charity.
He didn't need one. What a jerk.
And Walt gets back at these grumpy Grinches by ordering a truckload of carolers onto their lawn, while the Kranks duck for cover inside like they're getting hit by a drive-by shooting.
Oh, lovely.
It's not lovely, they're trespassing.
Goddamn you, You're gonna get it anyway! Keep singing!
I honestly don't know what's scarier, this close-up of Dan Aykroyd fervently singing Christmas carols, or this shot of the carolers sneaking up to Jamie Lee's window as if they've taken the place of Michael Myers in the Halloween franchise's worst reboot to date. And Luther has to instigate things even worse by spraying a patch of ice onto their sidewalk, as well as hilariously freezing the neighbor's cat, simply because Tim Allen happened to accidentally step on this cat twice, and it looks funny on the poster. Now that is just a dick move. And what would former cocaine dealer Tim Allen possibly know about dick moves? So with one day left to go before they leave, Luther decides to augment his tanning job with a Botox-assisted facelift that makes him look like Vulcan Trump.
I got a Botox injection today.
And while Jamie Lee Curtis treats her monologue about missing the holidays like she is going for another Oscar, Tim the Toolman is on the other end, goofily trying to eat some fruit cocktail with his still frozen face, like he is aiming to win a Kids' Choice Award. And it goes on forever. Even though we all know Dan Aykroyd already did the funniest scene of eating food disgustingly with a weird prosthetic on your face.
Go ahead there, folks.
But wouldn't you know it, on the morning of Christmas Eve Day, just as the Kranks can flee their neighbors for a few merciful days, a certain daughter of theirs calls up on the phone with a bombshell.
I'm in Miami and I'm coming home for Christmas.
What?
That's right, she's on the way back home from her Peace Corps mission with a hunky Peruvian man named Enrique, who has just asked for her hand in marriage, and whom she wants to introduce to Luther and Nora at their signature Christmas Eve party.
What?
What? Now over in normal land, this is where mom and dad would politely tell their daughter of their holiday skipping plans that they should have let her in on from the start. And she, in turn, would totally understand her parents needing some much-needed time away for the holidays.
We understand, dear.
Just kidding.
No, of course, because we are still in sitcom land. So Nora orders Luther to drop their non-refundable vacation plans entirely and use the next 12 hours to rustle up all the holiday decor and food that they can find in comedically short notice. Because fuck having your own needs and feelings, we've got to keep coddling our adult daughter's priorities over our own. So Luther's got to get a fully decorated tree by borrowing one from the house of a neighborhood friend and ask for help from little Dewey in taking the tree out in his little red wagon, only for a snooping neighbor to mistake them for the wet bandits and calling in officers Cheech and Busey, who are all too glad to bring Tim Allen in for his many crimes against the art of comedy.
Should have bought a calendar. Looks like it's back to jail for me.
As for Nora, she is out having a supermarket sweep trying to obtain a hickory honey ham for their big family dinner, to the point of her tearfully asking a Mad TV era Andrew Daly if she can buy up a ham from him and his wife in line.
No, we're not interested.
555, come on now.
Only for the ham to wackily fall from her grasp in the parking lot and downhill into the front of an oncoming truck.
Never say hickory honey ham again.
We are having Activia yogurt for dinner, and only Activia yogurt. And to top it all off, Luther is watched by the gathering townspeople as he heads up on the roof all alone to set up their Frosty statue, and nearly meets the same deadly fate as his Santa Claus predecessor. Probably because that Frosty appears to be possessed by the same demon to whom Tim Allen has sold his soul to keep having hit sitcoms on ABC the past 30 years. After the townspeople come to Luther's rescue, he and Nora finally explain that they need their holiday decorations up for their daughter's big engagement party. And Vic makes an impassioned plea to the rest of the neighborhood, including a pre-beep Matt Walsh, as to why they should help these miserly Scrooges at the last minute.
We're not doing this for him. We're doing this for Blair.
Why should the daughter pay for the sins of the father?
Now let's get moving, people. We've got 3 spirits who are coming to visit us tonight, and we have to make sure they're all safely contained within our ghost traps. So let's give these cranks the Christmas spirit that they have done absolutely nothing to earn. So just as snow finally falls from the sky to give them an Irving Berlin's White Christmas, off all the townspeople go to redecorate the crank house and prep the dinner for a party their daughter and future son-in-law won't soon forget, while Blair and Enrique are held up on their way back from the airport in a police cruiser being driven by Cheech Marin making a series of wacky faces, and the son of famously sane person Gary Busey. What could possibly, aside from having to bust some guy the cops find trying to steal a VCR, go wrong?
Are you in there?
Finally, the happy couple arrives home to the tune of the classic Christmas song that also opened the Gremlins soundtrack, Christmas Baby Please Come Home by Darlene Love, while the criminal in the back seat tricks Stewie into letting him inside the house for warmth and food, just as the reunited Crank family cross paths again with the bashful old umbrella salesman they've been running into the entire movie, named Marty, played by Austin Pendleton of The Muppet Movie and, of course, Mr. Nanny, who can not only speak the native language of their daughter's fiancé, but also performs with him a native Peruvian holiday song, alongside the accordion-playing Weird Dan Aykroyd Vic, which does little to cheer Luther Crank up about the $6,000 vacation package he's been forced to throw away for another lousy holiday get-together.
Because you don't get to go on your precious little cruise.
There's still time.
Yet after Nora implores her husband to stop being such a wet tampon for once this holiday season, he just happens to notice across the street Walt and Bev Shield spending what could be their last Christmas together at home.
Nora wanted me to drop this by.
Well, I'm allergic to pork.
But later deciding that he should give an even more valuable gift to the grouchy old man who once played his father-in-law on Home Improvement.
Start your engine!
What? No, I didn't mean a knife through his hand. I meant giving them their Caribbean cruise tickets.
Flight leaves at 12 noon tomorrow. It's a dream vacation.
And as sweet a gesture this may admittedly be, I can't help but doubt as to whether a moving cruise ship is the best place for a recent chemotherapy patient to go who is still having occasional nausea, as well as to whether it's a great idea to let your cat get looked over while you're away by the same guy who nearly froze that poor thing to death. But whatever gets the movie closer to ending, with that backseat thug from earlier getting stopped from robbing the Cranks by an umbrella upside the head from the Santa suit wearing Austin Pendleton, then being shot 6 times by a waiting Dr. Sam Loomis.
I'm sorry you got to work on Christmas Eve.
Santa always has to work on Christmas Eve.
And just as Luther realizes who that Marty guy really was and that he'll have to play him 2 more times on Disney's behalf, Nora comes in saying that Bev called her up about his selfless act and rewards him with a smooch under the non-existent mistletoe.
Skipping Christmas. What a stupid idea.
If only John Grisham had said that before publishing the book that became this movie, that would have saved everyone a whole lot of pain. So as the camera pulls out, we see another snowman on the roof coming to horrific CGI life, while Marty Claus rides off into the night sky in his reindeer-powered Volkswagen Beetle. Which means that underneath this shitty movie was a whole other shitty movie we never saw that involves living snowmen and umbrella salesmen who turn out to be magical Santa Clauses. God damn you, Christmas with the Kranks! I would like to paraphrase another John Grisham-based movie in saying that, yes, you deserve to die, and I hope you burn in hell! Joe Roth would go on to direct only one more movie after this, the racially charged crime drama Freedom Land in 2006. The same year, Tim Allen would reunite with Revolution Studios for a superhero family comedy that would make Christmas with the Kranks look like It's a Wonderful Life, and which also had an inexplicable cameo from Squiggy of Laverne and Shirley. Take me with you. Yet compared to other movies like that, which I've had to suffer through for this job over the past 10 years, Christmas with the Kranks feels so utterly harmless by comparison these days, which is sure as hell not saying that it's any good. The characters are all vain and dumb, in a way that would have worked way better in an R-rated type black comedy like Bad Santa. And John Grisham is way worse at writing out holiday slapstick than John Hughes was. But you can tell Chris Columbus is trying to give this adaptation some of his expertise in neighborhood and family-based comedy that he had shown directing Home Alone and writing Gremlins. And it's a pleasure to see many of these old-timey comedic and character actors again, when many of them have sadly passed away in the 2 decades since. Plus, watching it in adulthood made me far less angry than sitting through Home Alone 4 or Christmas Vacation 2. So I suppose that small ounce of credit makes Christmas with the Kranks nowhere close to being one of the worst movies ever made, Christmas-based or otherwise. And if Chris Columbus ever decides to give this one a reboot, I pray that he'll hire Robert Eggers to turn this book into the A24-like horror masterpiece it was clearly meant to be. On the enjoyableness continuum scale from full to Bruce, Christmas with the Kranks is at the very least several hours shorter than binge-watching both seasons of The Santa Clauses, and Figgy's it's putting into a 5 out of 10. If you decide to cancel Christmas this year, make sure this movie goes right along with it. Until next time, this is Jesse Shade on behalf of Awfully Good Movies, thanking all of you incredible JoBlo subscribers for an incredible first year of having our very own channel. So I wish you all to have the merriest of Christmases and the happiest of New Year's, even as the sight of a brown-faced Tim Allen spitting up fruit cocktail will forever haunt your nightmares.
Well, come on, everybody, and let's get together tonight. I got some money in my jeans, and I'm really gonna spend it right. Jeans. Well, I've been...
You know what's odd? Is when an Irish pub serves fish tacos. I don't get that. And I got a little heartburn, and I don't think I'm going to do that again. Here it is right here.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. JoBlo was created by movie fans for movie fans, and we appreciate your support.